Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into a player who gets called things like, Europe's most efficient striker. You hear Liverpool's secret weapon a lot too. And yet, somehow, the word underrated always seems to stick around. We are, of course, talking about Diogo Jota. So the big question really is, how does this guy, maybe not the first name you think of, consistently bang in goals? How does he outscore others, even, sometimes outshine absolute legends like Ronaldo in massive games? Well, this deep dive, it's built on some serious tactical analysis, a look back at his whole career. We want to give you that shortcut, that clear view of why his game is, frankly, exceptional. And we've got some fascinating bits to unpack, like his unique hybrid skill set. Why is that so tough for defenders to figure out? We'll look at the stats, too, some surprising numbers that really scream world class, putting him ahead of some huge names. And why did Jurgen Klopp specifically label him the perfect modern attacker? What did he see? Plus, how he's quietly, maybe, changing things for Portugal, even with Ronaldo still around. And finally, we'll touch on the sort of hidden science behind how he moves, how he thinks, why one expert called him a defensive analytics nightmare. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is tracing that development. It's not like he just appeared. You go back to Gondomar SC, Portugal, 2005. He's 9 years old. It's been a very deliberate buildup almost.
Right.
Each step adding something new. You see flashes early on, right? Like at Paços de Ferreira, must have been 2014. Suddenly burst through 11 goals in 13 games as a teenager. That hints at something deeper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A real hunger.
That hunger.
And his whole football education is kind of unique. He learned defensive discipline on loan at Porto in 2016, which is maybe not what you'd expect. Then the big switch at Wolves in 2017, moving from winger to striker. Nuno Espirito Santo, his coach then, he talked about that hunger, but also how they literally trained him differently, like make 3 runs for every 1 chance. But this deep dive, it's about getting past the highlight reel, looking at the tactical nuts and bolts.
That journey really does tell a story. Gondomar, Paços. Then there was that spell at Atletico Madrid too, wasn't there? Even though he never actually played for them competitively.
Right, under Simeone. Didn't play. But you have to imagine being in that environment, that demanding tactical setup. It must have taught him something.
An unconventional education, maybe.
Definitely. Then the Porto loan you mentioned, adding that grit.
Yeah.
And Wolves, that was huge. Came in as a winger, 2017 loan, started shifting central. Then the permanent move in 2018, that's where he really built that Premier League robustness, that tactical mouse.
Absolutely.
And that Nuno quote about the 3 runs, that sums up the work rate. The intelligent movement off the ball.
Yeah.
That was there even before Liverpool.
And what a signing that turned out to be for Liverpool. October 2020, £41 million. A lot of people thought, okay, squad player. But then, boom, months later, he's outscoring Salah in big games sometimes.
Yeah.
It was incredibly fast how he just slotted in and started firing. What do you think Klopp and his team saw? What did they unlock that maybe others hadn't quite grasped?
Well, Klopp's great at seeing adaptability, isn't he? And Jota's like a tactical chameleon for them. He offers different answers depending on the problem. Like, we've seen him play as that false 9, dropping deep, dragging defenders out, creating space, especially against those low blocks. Teams that just sit back. Think about his goals against Arsenal, 4 of them playing like that. Classic example.
Right.
But then he can also be this really effective left-wing poacher. He's right-footed, but loves that left side cutting in. A bit Robin-esque, maybe?
Yeah.
But with this, surprisingly brilliant heading ability. Which makes you wonder how many top players can genuinely switch between those roles so smoothly, sometimes even within the same match.
That's a great point. And the super sub thing, too.
Oh, absolutely. The super sub specialist role, was it last season? 9 goals out of 15 after the 60th minute. That ability to read a tiring game and make an impact is, it's huge.
That versatility is one thing, but the raw numbers.
Yeah.
They really back it up, don't they? The data tells a story that maybe challenges how we think about the very top strikers.
It really, really does. Let's talk about big chance conversion. Since 2022, his rate is, get this, 73%.
Wow. 73%.
73. So nearly 3 out of every 4 clear chances, he buries it. And just for context, Erling Haaland is at 68%. Kylian Mbappe, 65%.
So he's actually more clinical than them on those big chances.
Based on that metric, since 2022, yes. And Klopp actually said it quite plainly, didn't he? People ask why we signed Jota. The data showed he could do things our other forwards couldn't. It's not just scoring, it's converting those high probability chances with just remarkable consistency, making every good opportunity count.
And talking about making things count, Euro 2024, that felt like a big moment. For him, and maybe for Portugal too, Roberto Martinez benches Cristiano Ronaldo against France. A massive call.
Huge call. Sent ripples everywhere. But Jota's response on the pitch, absolutely definitive. Scores twice, wins the match. And his underlying numbers in that game, he created 3.7 expected goals XG. Basically, the quality of chances he was involved in creating should have resulted in almost 4 goals. That's elite stuff on the biggest stage.
And looking bigger picture for Portugal.
His record since 2022 is pretty stunning. 14 goals, about 1,200 minutes played. That works out to roughly a goal every 85 minutes, plus 87% shot accuracy in major tournaments. And he provides 2.3 key passes per game. That's actually more than Bruno Fernandes. Even Ronaldo said something after that France game, didn't he? Along the lines of, the new generation is here. Jota understands football.
High praise. It does make you think about that central striker role, doesn't it? Is it changing? Less about a pure number 9, more about these adaptable smart forwards.
It certainly poses the question. Jota seems to operate almost on instinct sometimes, but it's clearly rooted in deep understanding.
Yeah, and to get under the hood of that, we looked beyond just watching games. We talked to a sports scientist, Dr. Lisa Richards. She helped break down the sort of the hidden mechanics, the science behind his game. And she pointed out 3 really unique traits, things that make him that defensive analytics nightmare.
Yeah, Dr. Richards laid them out really well. First, those 45-degree runs.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
He consistently targets that diagonal space, that channel between the center back and the fullback. It's a subtle angle, not straight, not wide. And why it's so tricky is it forces that center back to make an awkward decision. Step out and leave a gap, or stay put and potentially leave the fullback isolated. It's not just running, it's like calculated disruption. Very hard to track with standard defensive shapes or data.
Right, exploiting the seams. What was the second one?
The second was delayed acceleration. He's brilliant at time in his sprint. He might just hang back, hold his run for literally a split second longer than you'd expect. That keeps him onside, obviously. But it also means he arrives in the box exactly as the defender might be switching off, or just as the space opens up. Perfect time and perfect positioning. It shows incredible spatial awareness.
Almost like playing chess with the defensive line. And the third?
Third was contact anticipation. He's got this amazing knack for drawing fouls near the goal. Now, it's not diving. It's more like he senses when the challenge is coming, anticipates the contact, and uses his body subtly to ensure the defender gets caught making the foul. Winning penalties, winning free kicks in dangerous spots. It's about reading the opponent a fraction faster.
So putting those 3 together, the runs, the timing, the anticipation, that's why he's a defensive analytics nightmare. He manipulates space and time in ways that are just hard to predict, hard to code against. It almost makes him system-proof, you could argue. He just adapts and delivers no matter the setup.
Precisely. Yeah. System-proof is a good way to put it. His effectiveness doesn't seem tied to one specific way of playing or needing certain players around him. False 9, wide poacher, impact sub. He finds a way. That adaptability, plus the unique movements, plus the ruthless finishing. It's the kind of profile managers absolutely love. He doesn't just fit a system. He tends to make the system better.
So this deep dive, it really feels like we've peeled back the layers on Diogo Jota. He's far more than just a goal scorer, isn't he? We've seen that incredible versatility, switching from that false 9 role, like against Arsenal, remember the 4 goals, then being a left-wing poacher, great header of the ball, and the super sub-specialist thing, 9 goals off the bench last season. And the efficiency, it's just startling. That 73% big chance conversion since 2022. Better than Haaland, better than Mbappe in that specific time frame. It really hammers home his elite status. And we got into that hidden science with Dr. Richards, the 45-degree runs, the delayed acceleration, anticipating contact, all the stuff that makes defenders tear their hair out.
Exactly. And I think this deep dive really underlines that Jota's genius. It's not just the skill, it's the footballing brain. The complete understanding of the game, the ability to adapt, to execute under pressure. That makes him so incredibly valuable and really speaks to where football is going right. Hybrid skills, tactical intelligence, they're becoming more and more crucial.
So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. When you considered Jota's efficiency, which is kind of quiet but relentless, his huge role for Portugal at Euro 2024, especially stepping up when Ronaldo was benched, this consistent impact for a massive club like Liverpool, what does all that understated excellence really mean for attacking football going forward? Can he stay fit and maybe become a genuine dark horse of the Ballon d'Or? Could he lead Portugal in the 2026 World Cup? Will Liverpool start to build their attack even more around him? And maybe the biggest question, how does his rise make us rethink what a truly world-class forward looks like today?